Hi, Ed Nakasone for RC Video Magazine. In this Breaker Blade article, we'll be reviewing the Kyohso Concept 30 helicopter. This model is imported and distributed in the U.S. by Great Plains Model Distributors of Champaign, Illinois. The Concept 30 is a 28 or 32 engine sized helicopter. It was designed by the 1986 World Helicopter Champion, Mr. Shigetaka Taya of Japan. It comes with auto rotation as standard and can be operated with either a 4 or 5 channel helicopter radio. However, a 5 channel helicopter radio is highly recommended. The Concept 30 has two designations, the DX and the SE. The DX is simply a trademark designation associated with the model, whereas the SE stands for Special Edition of the Concept 30 helicopter. Now, Great Plains have made available 4 different packages of this helicopter, all requiring some degree of assembly. First being the sub-assembled DX helicopter without engine, the sub-assembled DX helicopter with engine, and the DX in kit form without engine, and for the experienced flyer, the SE helicopter without engine. Now, both DX and SE models are identical in design. The difference being the DX is a basic helicopter which is aimed towards the new flyer. It has aluminum flybar pedals for smoother handling and 8 ball bearings at major rotating points, whereas the SE is aimed towards the experienced flyer. It has plastic flybar pedals for quicker control response, and it incorporates 28 ball bearings throughout the major rotating points. In this review, I will be assembling the SE kit. Later in the program, we will view the almost ready to fly DX helicopter prior to its final assembly. Let me place this helicopter on the side for now. Now, let's look at the contents of the SE kit. The entire helicopter is neatly fitted in this box. First item we see is the decal sheet. This is great for finishing. There's no painting required. Next is the instruction booklet. I received both the Japanese and English version. I will elaborate on this booklet later. Under the booklet is the plastic canopy with smoke windscreen. Here's the parts box. I'll set this aside for now. Under the protective cardboard is the main rotor blade. And with that is the tail shaft unit along with the tail rotor drive wire and the pitch control wire. Let's look into the parts box and see how they package these items. Here's the main frame assembly along with the main rotor shaft and gear. Next is the tail assembly with landing gear, the servo tray assembly, the fuel tank with associated fittings and fuel line. Let's open the bag containing the main rotor head assembly. Note how each part is individually packaged and each package identifying its content. For this kit, I selected the OS 32FH engine. The instruction booklet. This is a comprehensive instruction booklet for the DX assemble model. It was written and organized for the new flyer. I highly recommend reading the entire booklet before construction of the helicopter. Do read the warning and important notes before proceeding, however. The first section provides information on the required equipment such as batteries, fuel, etc. Next, you will find detailed instruction on the construction, layout, and adjustment of the Concept 30. Be familiar with this section. It works well. This is followed by a section on control checks, followed by engine starting and troubleshooting, followed by an explanation on how to check, adjust the main tracking of the rotor blades here. It also provides basic flight instructions to include auto rotation. This is followed by a parts list, and it also provides diagram of the exploded view of the entire helicopter. With the absence of an instruction booklet for the kit, I used the exploded diagram to assemble my SE kit with minor difficulties, which I'll elaborate later. Also included is a supplemental instruction for more detailed and comprehensive instruction on how to get your helicopter airborne. All in all, I find this to be an excellent document. Before you begin the assembly of the subunits, I highly recommend laying out the screws, nuts, and washers by type and size in this manner. Construction of the subassembly. Assembly, construction, and adjustment of the SE kit took me approximately 8 hours. As stated earlier, I used the exploded view to assemble this kit. Therefore, no step-by-step assembly procedures was available. However, if you study the diagram and lay the parts out, assembly is straightforward, but a few suggestions would be helpful here. As an example, this tail rotor assembly. When you assemble the center hub, ensure that the threaded stock, which is numbered 141, locks onto the output shaft outer hole. This will prevent the hub from spinning or flying off during the flight. Before you tighten it, however, ensure that you install this set screw, which is numbered M3x4. Go ahead and install the set screw, then lock the threaded stock onto the shaft assembly itself, and above all, use a lot of Loctite. Now, before you assemble this tail rotor case assembly, ensure that the tail boom itself is installed simultaneously. This case assembly has a little lip here which locks the tail boom together onto the tail rotor case assembly. As in this manner here. Okay, let me lay this on the side for now. Now the main frames. This is really a sturdy, heavy-duty plastic. When you take this out of the kit, you'll find that when you place the side frames together, that they don't match perfectly. As a matter of fact, it's warped. Don't worry about that. That's part of the manufacturing process, so I was told. Because as you assemble the side frames together by installing the gears and the alignment devices, as you pull it together, you'll find that everything will fit perfectly. Even the gear mesh will be running real smooth. As a matter of fact, there's no adjustment to the gear here. But before you tighten up the mainframe assembly, ensure that the lever set, especially the 4.5 lever set here, are installed on the side frame prior to tightening up, because it's almost impossible to get the lever set installed once the side frame is assembled together, as well as the left and right and the pitch lever set here. As for the servo tray assembly, there's really no problem. It's pretty straightforward. However, when you attach it to the main frame, ensure that the fuel tank is assembled simultaneously. If not, you'll never get it in there. As for the cooling shroud, this is really a high-grade plastic here. It was really designed around the OS 28 size engine, and it fits perfectly. However, in utilizing the OS 32 engine, I found that I had to do some little trimming of the plastic here to ensure that this thing fit and ran free with the fan assembly hitting the shroud, without the fan assembly hitting the shroud. After having said all that about the subassembly, if you bought this DX assembled helicopter with engine, everything is put together for you. Therefore, I highly recommend this format for the newcomer. In the DX assembled kit with engine, what you have is your parts bag, your landing gear assembly, your totally assembled mainframe, servo tray, and engine assembly here, a totally assembled tail boom and tail rotor assembly, the main rotor head assembly, rotor blades, and your canopy. Great for the newcomer. Final construction of all sub-assemblies is straightforward. Just follow the step-by-step assembly and adjustment procedures as outlined in the instruction booklet. As far as the ball links are concerned, ensure that the word Kyohso faces outwards when assembled to the ball itself. For the initial kit, I utilized on the servo wheels the standard 10 millimeter wheels here. However, I found that For my throttle assembly, I had to utilize the larger wheel to ensure that I could have the required throw as well as to have the linkage clear the frame assembly itself here. For the initial flight tests, I did utilize the 10mm wheels and found it to be adequate, and it's perfect for the beginner. However, for the more experienced flyer, he may want to utilize the 15mm wheel, the larger wheels, to achieve the desired results. Use the pitch gauge which is supplied in the kit. Use the recommended pitch setting. For the newcomer, refer to page 10 on blade pitch adjustment. As for the tail rotor blade, ensure that it is set at 0 with the transmitter throttle lever set in a down position. As for the gyro check, ensure that the blade is corrected in the proper direction as shown here. The head and blade assembly should be balanced on the high pointer, but the procedures as outlined on page 4 is adequate. Attach colored tape for ease of blade tracking. Check control movements as outlined in page 12. In conclusion, this was a fun kit to put together and to fly. There are more likes than dislikes. First off, I like the quick, easy construction. It's almost a snap-together kit. I like the detailed instruction booklet with supplement. The quality of engineered parts, just a perfect fit. The high quality of plastic material, superb. The stable flying machine is great, snappy tail response. I like the upgrade of the DX to the SE model. And lastly, I really enjoyed the quick disassembly for portability of this kit here. As for the dislikes, I really did not like the single tail shaft drive bearing, but I understand they're going to be coming out with 2 of these bearings to prevent tail whipping. I uncovered small cracks on the leading edge of my blades. Sent that back to the factory, but I was told that it would probably fluid in such too cold of a weather. However, Great Plains is coming out with a wooden blade for this particular model. I really dislike the SE kit without instructions, but as I indicated, I followed the exploded view and that worked out great. The Concept 30, I feel, is a real winner. The newcomer will like the DX almost ready to fly kit with engine. For the experienced flyer, he will want to put the SE kit through its paces. Let's run her up. Seems like it is somewhat on the rich side. Need to lean her out a bit. Because the engine is new, I'll keep it slightly on the rich side. Let's run her around a bit. Very smooth. Let's see how it performs in the air. Loops easily. How about a roll? No problem. Auto rotation? Not bad. The Concept 30 has barely been on the market, and there's already several upgrades for it. As I indicated earlier, there'll be 2 tail drive shaft bearings in the tail boom. There's also going to be a black anodized tail boom from Great Plains. Also is a aluminum cone starter here to include a wooden blade for this kit. As far as aftermarket products, Rototech Engineering also has developed a tail drive shaft system for this helicopter. And as you can see, Mack Muffler has designed a neat header system with the Wizard muffler for this helicopter. For this review, I'd like to give special thanks to